here also to honor a great artist, a great Mexican artist who was born in Cuba. His name was Francisco Fellove, and he passed away on Saturday, but this is an artist who I had the pleasure of spending time with over 10 years ago while he was making a record, and he was such an important artist, and you know, and I've had, it's been really quite a profound experience for me to be here, to talk to the people that worked with him over the last 40, I think he came in 1955 to Mexico, and this is the place he called home. He was an important artist, and I had the opportunity to film him and work with him here in Mexico several years ago, and unfortunately, he passed away, but he had a good life, and this was a man who had a profound impact on me, but he was an artist who gave so much of himself and influenced so many young Mexican musicians as well as Cuban musicians and people from around the world. And so this is actually a good opportunity for me to honor him and say something while there are people who might not know who he was, that this was a great artist. Fellove was I loved his music because I was introduced to him because of my love of Afro-Cuban music. Okay. And I then introduced him to a musician friend of mine who said, hey, guess what? He's living in Mexico City and he's great, and I'm going to make a record with him. And so it was a last minute thing. I came down and I just was filming him and talking to him while he was making his record. And he was a remarkable, innovative, spontaneous artist who came from a time when that is what artists were doing. He came out of the 40s and 50s when artists were in acting class. I mean, that's what we learned from the great actors and Brando and Montgomery Clift and people. Spontaneity, vulnerability. He's sort of working from the inside out. And this was an artist who was a performer, but he really worked from the inside out. And he created his own sort of style of singing, scat singing, which, he was an innovator in that way, as a dancer, as a performer, and always looking forward. And I found it to be fascinating. And I was, and time went by, but he was always thinking forward. And I was fortunate enough to have been around him then, and now coming back and talking to the people who worked closely with him is really a revelation, because the guy taught so many people, helped so many people, and I think it's a very interesting. I think Mexico is a really fascinating place. I think in the 40s and 50s, at that time, there was no place like Mexico. It was the center of everything: art, music, literature, and everybody was coming here from everywhere.